Alright, here we are for round one. I would like to play first. Playing against Smart Bomb. And I would not like to mulligan. Got a fairly solid defensive hand here. I don't think he's going to drop anything, but I mean, I'm not going to F6 this. He's also playing black. I think this is actually a strong hand against an infect deck if he's playing an infect deck, so. If he drops a mirror or something, I think I'm going to go ahead and wound it. Soul Eater. Well, I am going to go ahead and wound that. Did not really expect a Soul Eater, so maybe he's black-red, or maybe he's just some kind of weird metalcraft. We'll probably be dropping the X-Arc next turn and, excuse me, making him discard a card. Oh, that's going to get verdicted. And I know Rob likes verdict, so it looks pretty good there, getting rid of that guy. Let's see what he's got going. Contagion Clasp or Swamp. He's got the Sangromancer, which is looking like a great target for Corrupted Conscience. Can't get rid of the other guys. I don't think it's ever worth getting rid of the Swamp here. Like, we kind of want him to go Swamp Sangromancer, so I can Conscience it. We're definitely getting rid of the Clasp. Hopefully I draw a land for my Conscience. So we had also a Brass Squire and a Spin Engine. I can pretty much guess his play is going to be Sangromancer here. Be quite awkward for him to do anything else. I mean, we know we have it, so it's not like we're going to waste removal on something stupid like a Siege guy. Okay, so I guess he's going for Siege and Furnace Scamp. Well, I think we're more on the defense here. Like, since Conscience gives a creature infect, we're not really trying to rush him down damage-wise. I don't really want to trade my Volt Scourge for the Scamp, knowing his hand is Brass Squire and the Sangromancer, so we're just going to go ahead and drop the Volt Scourge here. This way, like, based on his current mana, if he wants to make one of these unable to block, like, we're going to trade the other for the Spin Engine. If he doesn't, we're just going to go ahead and trade. I guess Volt Scourge for Spin Engine might be best. He might not even attack and just go ahead and drop Sangromancer, because I can't really see him wanting to lose his Spin Engine to one of these cards. Oh, maybe X-Arc. I mean, this card's pretty bad in the face of like Volt Scourge, so maybe X-Arc against the Spin Engine is best. He might make it so the X-Arc can't block, but then, I mean, he could have drawn a land. No, he's just going for Sangromancer play. Good. And that's great for us. I mean, because now if we get to trade... I'm just thinking about trading. I mean, we got the Conscience. I don't really think there's not a reason to drop my... We're going to go ahead and... we know he has Brass Squire. And we know he has something else. It's not a land. This guy represents like killing from infect in a couple turns. I think we're just going to keep back this guy on defense and swing in here to gain some life. Like, if he wants to be able to swing in with Spin Engine and make it so like our X-Arc can't block, that's fine. I mean, I'd be happy to take 3 damage to waste his red mana. Now Furnace Scamp, like if he can't kill a Sangromancer, Furnace Scamp's just a wash. I could see this guy dying though, since he's probably drawn some spells, and Black-Red's chock full of removal. Maybe he's just going to equip the Spin Engine and go aggressive. Well, there's the Brass Squire. Works decently with the Flare Husk, I guess you could say. I am going to swing in with the Volt Scourge and the Sangromancer, and then go ahead and steady progress. Notice this is pretty sick with the Proliferate here. And again, I see no real reason to hold land in my hand. Oddly enough, if this was Thornegeth, we could represent a kill next turn. Okay, there's just a bad creature. So this deck looks like it's just bad creature deck. Like Immolating Soul Eater, Furnace Scamp, Brass Squire, Priest. I mean, I guess that's a pretty quick beatdown if like he gets the correct... I mean, if you play first turn Immolating Soul Eater, second turn Priest, that's quite a lot of damage you're not even sacrificing life for. So that kind of works together. Especially maybe if you played first turn Furnace Scamp. You could have somebody near dead quite quickly. So it might not be a horrible idea. Build a deck like this. Artillerize, that looks strong. Well, I gained some life, but I am about to get beat down. And now we're actually not looking so hot. I mean, if he sends in Spin Engine, I'm blocking. Really? You're sending in Brass Squire. Sure, I'll block that. I think I'm going to send with my Volt Scourge and I'm going to Vivisection. I mean, we have a ton of powerful cards. Though this guy, you know, helps us get ahead on the life race. I don't really think it's worth spreading. Like, if we spread the Sickness anything, it might be the Spin Engine, it might be the Brass Squire. Like, this guy can still trade for, like, the Priest. Even, like, Flare Husk doesn't protect it from that. So we're not facing that big of a clock. The Volt Scourge does represent a decent amount of life for us, but I think it's just a little bit weaker than the Exarch, since the Exarch actually trades with one of his attackers. And since our cards are fairly powerful, I think going for the Vivisection here is best. Spire Serpent, can't cast it this turn, but it's not a horrible draw here. It definitely holds the fort for us. He's just putting his Flare Husk on something? Sure. I think it's... I'm trying to think if we have anything else to use with our creatures. I mean, it might be worth just losing the Exarch to prevent some damage. Like, it's not really getting through this attack, you know, to attack here. So I think it's fine trading. I don't really like... I mean, if we block the Furnace Scamp, we'll take less damage, but I think the Furnace Scamp isn't that great overall, so we're going to go ahead and just trade with the Priest here. He might have the Morbid Plunder being the other black player. Though he doesn't. He took the Sangromancer over that. There could be another Morbid Plunder in the packs. But I was probably passing to this guy if Sangromancer went that quick. We have an Instill Infection. I think that's better on the Spin Engine, so I'm not going to waste my spread on that just yet. In fact, I think it's better to go ahead and use my Flight Spellbound before using the Spire Serpent, just to see what we get. I don't really see a use for a... Come on. Unreal. Sure, I guess we've got a lot of land. I mean, if we don't draw it soon, I'm going to have to spread the Spin Engine. But again, it's much better to instill Infection it and then spread something else so we can just proliferate and kill it. You can't really attack me with anything else, though. And I'm at a pretty healthy life total, but I'm not that worried about it. Yeah, sure, it can't block. Yeah, that Artillerize was... He was basically dead if he took one more hit from a Sangromancer, so... Pretty strong. Pretty strong. You know, I am gonna... God. I'm really worried. Like, if he does draw, like, a Horde Smelter, I still have my, Enslave. That thing is just... I mean, now my life is getting a little precarious. Especially if this guy dies, so I'm gonna go ahead and spread it. I'm just... Like, if I don't draw the Instill, that's really the only card. Since we've already used the Violent Wound. I don't really see myself enslaving that. Did he draw another Artillerize or something? Like, it looks like he's thinking about sacrificing so I can't spread the sickness and just Artillerizing the Spire Serpent. And he was probably passing to me since he got the Sangromancer. We saw one Artillerize. In the draft. I'm gonna just drop the land. Like, if we get Mind Coin, we want to have as much land in play as we can so that we can make use of the cards we draw. Yeah, I don't really think I can take... Like, since Instill Energy is really the only other card that I'd want to use on that guy, I don't think I can take much more damage from it. His creatures, yes, just like bad creature.deck. Nice, that is not unwanted. I'm just going to go ahead and sacrifice him right away. I'm trying to draw to more powerful stuff here. Hopefully get like our Mind Coin. Well, Plague Stinger's not horrible. Again, I just want to keep playing my lands. Mortis Dogs. Well, that guy's a little scary. He's not attacking this turn, but this guy can end Spire Serpent quickly. And hit me for a decent chunk in the process, so I'm gonna need to draw something soon. And we've drawn a lot more cards than this guy, but like all of them are lands. He's just got constant gas. Let's see, next turn, if he hits for 4, 5, 6, 7, that'd put me at 8. I'd lose this guy. Like, we might even have to have Plague Stinger back on D just to chump Mortis Dogs here. That way, Mortis Dogs can't attack through Spire Serpent. I think that's the best bet. Like, if I go offensive here, I just risk dropping so low that I think it's best to just chump with the Mortis Dogs, give them a counter, so they can't really attack through the Spire Serpent. As I said, like, I mean, we've drawn, what, 12 land here? Or, sorry, yeah, 7, 13 land? And he's only drawn 5. So we're that much deeper in our deck, but Like, we're 6 cards deeper in our deck, but we're plus 8 land on him. So that's a little brutal. Despite how all of his creatures suck, and we've actually 2-for-1'd him with Corrupted Conscience. We're kind of in dire straits. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a fine plan, because now Mortis Dogs at least can die to the Spire Serpent. Like, you can't attack through it right now. Ooh. Well, I'm gonna save that. Don't think it's really worth getting rid of Mortis Dogs at the moment. This could be scary if he draws removal from my Spire Serpent, but I was passing to him in pack 2. We didn't see another, like, we didn't see a go over the throat or a spread that went through us. This can't die immediately to Grasp of Darkness. We've seen one Artillerize, he passed us another Artillerize, so there's not many things that he can just outright kill this with. Such that I think it's safe to not waste the Enslave right now. Like, we're just not going to immediately take a ton. I really just want to draw a Mind Culling. Get farther ahead on the card advantage here. It's also interesting to note that Enslave might be good on something like a... Like if he plays an artifact creature. Now, because we're slowly building a Metalcraft. Volt Scourge was not a bad draw there. I mean, it gets us, as I said, if we're building a Metalcraft, it gets us closer to Metalcraft. Pretty much drawn all the land in our deck. We got, what, 3 more land? Okay, so now... If he does have a Grasp of Dark, like if we block the Mortis Dogs, we're taking 4, 8, 9, 10, 14. I'm going to go ahead and enslave the Brass Squire. I hate doing this, but the thing is, like, it prevents combat tricks with his other equipment. It's an artifact that can help pump up Spire Serpent if we need to get it. And now we're just, I mean, if he has anything in his hand, I'm like totally screwed if he just swings in. He's tapping it, yeah. I mean, that's a smart play by him. I don't know why it shows the Brass Squire effect still on there. That's odd. Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 land. So I have 3 land left in my deck. I mean, we know he's probably got... I assume he's probably running just 16 land, so he's got 9 land left in the deck, so like 50% of his cards are land. So he's probably not going to be drawing a lot of gas, but he could have something like a Volt Charge. Yeah, this is just a scary amount of damage coming in. Well, I have to block the dogs here. I mean, when I'm blocking the dogs, like, I just, what, take 4, 4. Yeah, I guess I have to. Nothing else I can really do. I mean, otherwise, I'm taking the damage next turn anyway. God, it's just so crazy. If I'd drawn anything, like one more spell, I probably win this game. That's really all I need. Now I just died of Volt Charge, Gal Blast. Pretty sad. Okay. Well, if that's the only thing he's got, he doesn't have Volt Charge yet, so... Huh. And I'm out of Volt Charge range soon. Don't think it's... Well, maybe it was worth using Instill Infection in case we draw an artifact there. I'm going to hold off on it just for a sec. I mean, he might have another creature he can play, like Spine Thopter or something like that. That would represent a decent threat. because it can stop my Volt Scourge cold. And I'm keeping back the squire here. I don't really see a use for swinging him in. I would have gotten another point in, but like then if he draws the removal, I'm just screwed. Even though the removal at this point would be something that would just outright kill me. Like, he's not going to artillerize my guy. Rustic. Here, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to send. I can always instill that guy after. And now my guy's big enough that this is like lethal next turn if he doesn't block, so. And I can shrink his guy now if he chooses to attack. I can like block with Brass Squire and shrink. I'm gonna play the island. And I've got what, 9 artifacts in my deck, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 4 of these are artifacts. 3 of these are lands. Flare Husk, sure. Let's see what he decides to do here. This is debatable. Like, if he decides to swing in, might be better. Like, he probably doesn't have another creature in his hand. Like, 2 of these are probably lands, since he hasn't really done a lot. Like, if he swings in here, I could just chump with Brass Squire and then go ahead and instill that during his end step, rather than instilling this guy. Simply because, well, then I lose. I mean, I'd have to draw an artifact, though 3 of those are artifacts, to keep this guy offensive. Tough call. Tough call. I mean, if he sacks this to put it on here, I think I gotta chump regardless. And I think Brass Squire's, even though it's taking him away, I think it's the stronger card to do so with. Rustic, because Rustic can provide an answer, like if he draws another Spin Engine. So like I said, we're representing the win, but we have to draw an artifact. I mean, I guess like there could be an argument for, okay, I could just go ahead and instill this, draw my artifact and see. I think it's fine to go ahead and instill, but instilling the courier, I mean, this will let him get another turn, so this could be really, really stupid on me than just going for the kill, because I really don't think he has. He's probably got one thing in his hand since he was thinking a while ago. That's the best artifact that I could draw. Yeah, we're going to block with Brass Squire, since that takes care of his token and there's a blocker. Okay, so he ticks down, and I drew 2 artifacts. I'm going to play this. I'm going to put a token on his germ, and we are going to swing in. Watch him just slow roll the artillerize here, since I'm behind on the clock, and you might just want to let my clock tick down more. Alright, on to game 2.